So I remember when I started my entrepreneurial journey 8 years ago, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I knew nothing. I knew nothing, but I threw down the gauntlet and I jumped in and I started this journey. And uh, I tell you, there were so many days I felt like giving up. And one of the things that came to me, or someone told to me, once I got a mentor and I figured out get a damn mentor so you can figure some things out, my mentor started talking to me about my I.C.A. And I was like, what the hell is an I.C.A.? And when she first set down the assignment in front of me and I looked at this thick booklet, and she's like, figure out like where your I.C.A. works and what they read. And I'm like, what the hell does this have to do with anything? And I really put that task off for a long time. Like, for when I say a long time, years, right? I didn't want to do it. I couldn't figure it out. And the mentor that I was working with at the time, I know a little bit more now, but the mentor I was working with at the time, like, she gave it to me and she explained it, but she didn't really go into detail on how I could flesh out that information. So it was kind of one of those things I tucked away. But because I did that, I struggled in my business for a very long time. And then, probably about 6 years into my business, 6 years making sporadic money and just trying to figure things out. And because I was going about it the wrong way, it took me a very long time. Now, once I figured out the right way to go about it, I really was able to see a turnaround in a matter of 6 months. And it was because I wrote my business plan, and parts of the business plan is figuring out your I.C.A. And so in today's video, I am going to cover 5 things that you need to know about your I.C.A. that will help you get clear on who they are, and you can start figuring out your ideal client, customer, or community so you can start helping them solve their problem, relieve their pain, or fulfill their desire. So let's get into it. Hi there, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Michelle V. Scott, and I am a social worker turned entrepreneur. I help social workers like yourself go from being overworked and underpaid to owning your entire 24 hours by helping you remove the confusion, frustration, and overwhelm associated with starting a private practice or business, so you can feel at ease on your entrepreneurial journey as you learn how to gain more time freedom, career freedom, and financial freedom. And so I thank you for joining me for this video. Today, this video is definitely going to help you figure out the people you're going to help and how you can offer them value. It's going to help you figure out some of the things that you need to look at to find out who this person is. And so we're going to start right away with number 1, which is you have to know where they are on their journey. And so knowing where they are on their journey is going to help you figure out what they've done thus far to get there and what you can help with to get them to the next phase, right? To get them across what we like to call the invisible bridge. And so in entrepreneurial world, many times you will hear people talk about helping your client or customer or community cross this invisible bridge from where they are to where they want to be, right? And so you have to know where they are on that journey in order to get them there. And so typically what you're looking to offer them is a transformation or an outcome or something that is going to help them get to the next level. And so to figure out where they are in their journey, you probably got to talk to them. You got to figure out, you got to ask them questions and figure out where they are, and then how your services or your skills, knowledge, talents, and expertise can help them get to where they want to be. The next thing is something you'll hear me talk about in plenty of my videos, and it's knowing what problem they want solved, what pain they want relieved, or what desire they would like fulfilled. And so you definitely need to identify this, because if you don't, you'll just be offering them services that they either don't want or don't need, and that is going to make your business fall flat because people don't purchase services or products or programs that they don't need or want or desire, right? If it's not going to help them solve the problem, relieve the pain or fulfill the desire, more than likely they are not going to want it. Again, think about your own purchasing psychology and why you purchase things. If you think about something as simple as soap powder, right? Or soap detergent or laundry detergent or whatever the hell you call it, you think about that, you might not think at front of mind, but if you think about it, it solves a problem, it relieves the pain, and it fulfills the desire. So what problem does it solve? Well, it helps solve getting your clothes clean, cleaner than they would if you just wash them in plain old water. By the way, I know people who do that. Whatever. I know people who do that for various reasons, but typically that is the problem it solves, right? The pain that it relieves is the fact that you don't walk around smelling, as my mom would say, like a bullfrog. You walk around with clean clothes, smelling pretty decent because your clothes have been washed and they've gotten the dirt out with the laundry detergent. And then the desire it fulfills, well, again, to walk around with clean clothes and not have stains all over you. So if you think about something as simple as soap, it does all of those three things, right? The branding might be different and you might identify with a different brand. And in a future video, we are going to talk about branding and the influence that it has over people and their purchase decisions. But it's definitely something that you want to be able to identify is their pain, problem, or desire. The third thing that you're going to want to look at is their demographics. And so you might be asking why? Well, their demographics are important, right? Because it's going to help you when you market to them. It's going to help you when you're speaking to them in your marketing copy, right? So you can help identify with where they're living and things that they might be involved in, right? But it's going to do more than that. Their demographic gives you insight into possibly some of the social problems that they're dealing with, right? So if they're living in a municipal housing development as opposed to a suburb where the houses are $300,000, those are going to be different services or different social issues that they might be dealing with in their environment, right? So that's going to help you identify services that you might be able to market to them. Another thing that is going to help identify is what is affordable to them, right? So when you look at their demographics, where are they working? How much money are they earning? Where are they living, right? What services do they already have access to or don't have access to? So this again goes back to identifying the gaps in the services, programs, or products that they might have available to them. And so there's so many things that you can help figure out when you look at their demographics. And it's definitely going to be important in identifying your ideal client, customer, or community. Number 4, what are they reading, listening to, or watching? Now you might be asking, well, why is this important? Again, it speaks to marketing and connecting with your client, right? Building a relationship. That is hugely important in getting people to spend money with you, especially if it's going to be premium pay or private pay money. You want to definitely be able to get them to feel comfortable in doing that. Okay. And so you want to talk to them, you want to meet them where they are, and you want to help build that relationship. And you can definitely do that by figuring out what they're reading, writing, listening to, following, how they're getting their information. For 2, you can look at the information that they're checking out and see where there are gaps, right? What topic is this person not covering? What is this person not addressing? Identifying those gaps will help you definitely develop your services or products that help fulfill those needs and gives that person a reason to purchase from you as opposed to someone else, because you are helping solve the problem, pain, or fulfill the desire that they are actually seeking. And then the last thing you're going to want to identify is where are they hanging out at online? Again, this is for marketing purposes. This is for definitely connecting with them. This is for finding out where you can find out information about their needs, their wants, their desires, right? And so where are they hanging out at online? once you figure this out, when you start your marketing, you can definitely hone down on marketing to that platform, right? Showing up for them on that platform. Now, this may not be as true with clinical private practices, again, because you can kind of panel with insurance, and that those people can go to the provider directory and find you, and you can fill up your practice really quickly by paneling with insurance. I've seen people build out a clinical private practice in 2 to 3 weeks by paneling with insurance because they get a flood of clients, especially during and post. Well, are we in post COVID? We're not in a post COVID world, at least not at the time that this video is being recorded. We are about to touch almost on 2 years inside of this crazy pandemic. But I noticed, like I said, when COVID came, usage for behavioral health services definitely picked up. I had clinicians building out practices in a week. All of a sudden, their practice is going to a 2 and 3 month wait list, and they're having to refer clients to someone else. And all the clinicians that I was working with inside the insurance I work for, which is a large, very large national insurer, probably one of the largest in the country. And we just didn't have enough clinicians to see all the people that started utilizing services. And so you'll definitely want to know where they're hanging out at. You'll want to be able to talk to them there. And even if you are in clinical private practice, you can show up on YouTube and offer not necessarily advice, but insights into things that people can do, or helpful information that will draw those people to you and help build that know, like, and trust factor. But if they're hanging out on Facebook, if they're on Pinterest, if they're on Snapchat, I'm too old to really know anything. I'm not too old to know about Snapchat. I'm sure there's people out there older than me that know about Snapchat, but it's just too much for me. But if that is something you use, or if that's something that your client uses and you're familiar with how to connect with them there, you may want to do that, right? Again, in clinical private practice, it can get a little sticky because there's HIPAA implications and the possible, disclosure of PHI in those situations. So you want to be very careful as a clinical practitioner. But as a social worker who's doing another type of business, this may be very beneficial to you. It may be beneficial to you as a clinical social worker because you can figure out what they're encountering and what they're dealing with by knowing where they're hanging out online. As far as in their online world, right? You can kind of figure out things that they might be running into, things that pose to be an obstacle or barrier for them. So there's so many things that you can figure out by knowing where they hang out at online, including how to market to them. And so there you have it, 5 key items to understanding your ideal client, customer, or community avatar. Now, if you like this video, please be sure to click the like button and subscribe, and then click the bell so you are notified each time I release a new video, which is every week on Monday. I'm also hosting meet and greets, and you can sign up for a meet and greet in the description box below. The link is there. At the meet and greets, I'm answering your questions and I'm getting to know you better. I want to connect with my community. And so sign up for a meet and greet, and I look forward to seeing you there. Until next time, this is your girl, Michelle, saying, stop waiting. The time is now. Start your private practice or business too. You can do that too. Until next time, bye for now.